Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, That Creepy Reading, and today I am playing Guild Wars 2. This is my own footage, and if you would like to add me up, you can add me up at tinker.1586. I don't mind if you add me up. I'm on the Maguma server, and I'm a part of two guilds right now. One's called Forlorn Savior, and the other one is called Crimson Delight. And I'm pretty sure any of you would be willing to join any of them. We have a TeamSpeak, and we also have a Razer Comms channel, so you guys can always talk to us there. Anywho, I'm probably gonna suck at this game, so please be wary of that. Oh my god, I even forgot to set up my PvP build too. Oh, this is not gonna be fun. Anyway, I just want to let you guys know that I'm playing Guild Wars, and the reason why I'm actually able to is because I had this situation where someone actually sent me one of their mouses, and then another person actually bought me one of the mouses I had on my Amazon wish list. So that whole situation with the mouse is fine. I should be able to edit videos. My only issue is doing collaborations, which is a tad hard because I don't have a proper headset. So even now I have the thing playing through my speakers, and it's not very good. Anyway, for the rest of you who came here to actually hear a story, why don't I tell you about said story? Alright, so basically when I was a bit younger, I went to Clarkson School Districts. I don't go there anymore, but you know, you heard what happened that last time I was at Clarkson School Districts. I punched a kid in his face, and then he told everyone that he beat the shit out of me, and he's such a terrible person. But you know what? He was young, and who really gives a shit, you know? Anywho, there was plenty of situations I've had at that school that were just absolutely fucking terrible. But there's one teacher who I would never really consider to be terrible, because this teacher was freaking awesome. Her name was, I'm going to actually censor her name. I'm going to just simply call her Miss Lemon Eye. But Miss Lemon Eye will hopefully understand who exactly I am talking about, because the name is fairly similar, and if you go to this school, you'll probably know who she is. Anywho, Miss Lemon Eye was a fantastic teacher, and the reason why is because she always had this fun-going attitude, and we had this sort of fake rivalry going on. What sort of fake rivalry? Well, we had this whole situation going where I would come to her class at 5th hour, and I would just sleep. I'd plop my head down, and I'd sleep. Now, normally, this would be bad, and this was an incredible sign to her, because guess what? I was in a advanced math room. At the time, I was in the 8th grade, and I was taking a 10th grade math class. What does that mean? It means that I decided to skip a year of bullshit and actually get to the actual hard stuff. Nonetheless, I went to this math class, and it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. Every day I'd go in there and sleep because, as you guys know, I've had my own issues with the actual schools, and it was just hard to stay awake in there because I would, you know, try to stay up as late as I can. And, you know, when I say late as I can, you know, that usually boiled down to about midnight, you know. But even then, you know, I had to get up at 5 in the morning, and it was just fucking terrible. Absolutely just terrible. Getting up at 5 in the morning, getting ready, and then taking the bus at 6 in the morning. Which means that I sat at the school for 2 hours every morning doing nothing but watching Netflix on my laptop. Nonetheless, I would go to her classroom at the end of the day, just ready to wind down. And she kind of took this as a challenge, as most teachers do. I'm not holding this against her because, again, I was kind of a skadoosh bag. But nonetheless, I would sleep in her classroom, and then the most magical of things would happen. At the end of the day, every day, like clockwork, she would call my name to go answer questions. Because I was a bit of a class clown in her room. I didn't really have the reputation I did in my other classrooms because I didn't go to those classrooms fairly frequently, you know. And because of that, a lot of kids actually liked me. This was actually also around the time when I was watching My Little Pony. And when I was watching My Little Pony, I would actually get away with quite a bit of things. Because I remember doing this one bet with this one kid that if he would give me 20 bucks, but only if I wore pony shirts to school every day of the week for 2 weeks. Well, I decided to do that for an entire year, and I still didn't get my 20 bucks, so magic. So I'm sucking in this game right now. But yeah, I had the nickname of Pinky because my favorite character in the show was Pinkie Pie, and I would always let everyone know that, at least when they asked, because another popular question to ask me was, who's your favorite pony? And do you like fucking ponies? God damn it, this Alienware can get a little annoying with the tech issues. But nonetheless, you know, that was the thing that a lot of people like to ask me. Well, I decided to always answer it with Pinkie Pie, and my name got transformed into Pinky. So every afternoon, Miss Nehemiah would come to my desk, scare the shit out of me with a, thump on my desk, and she would ask me to go up to the board and answer the question. I didn't have any issues ever answering that question, simply because I wouldn't actually sleep. I would put my head down and I'd rest my eyes, but I'd always listen to the teacher. And because she didn't give away homework, I got away with quite a bit of things. And that is always the most magical thing in the world, when you can get away with pretending to sleep in class and having magic happen because of it. Anyway, I would go to sleep in this class and she would wake me up, thump my desk, and I'd come to the front of the board. And just like clockwork, I would answer that question perfectly. What do you mean? I would just answer it perfectly. I'd go up there, I would do the problem, and I'd walk back to my desk and plop my head right back down. It was actually kind of hilarious, the way I would do it, because in the way that I did it, it was a bit weird, simply due to the fact that I wouldn't say anything. I would just walk up there silently, and I'd go up to the dry erase board, and I would just fucking do that thing. I would fucking write down the answer to the question. And the students actually noticed this too, because whenever I went up there, the students would always say something along the lines of Pinky, 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 like it was like an actual thing. And the teacher absolutely hated that because it just disrupted the entire classroom. And it was just terrible in terms of trying to keep students on track. But in terms of actually providing a bit of brevity after a long day, it actually worked out at the end. I think Miss Nehemiah caught on that. A lot of the kids who went to that room were actually very good people, and I commend them for it. Maybe that has to do with age, maybe that has to do with something else. But a lot of people who went there really made my day when I went to Clarkson School District. And, I know this is a bit of a short story. This is just kind of giving you a little bit of a highlight into my life, because every day I would be able to answer math problems without having too much of an issue. And every day I would always just go in there and kick ass, and it made me feel nice. It made me feel really nice. So, yeah, it was a fun thing, and maybe next time I'll have something a little bit more interesting for you. But as of right now, I think it would be a good time to end the video. So this has been your host, That Creepy Reading, signing off. If you would like to add me up on Guild Wars 2, and maybe we can play some of the new Heart of Thorns content. By the way, this is not a sponsored message. Please go out and buy Heart of Thorns if you're interested in Guild Wars 2 at all. They add this cool new class. It's pretty awesome, and I'd really recommend it. I'm your host, That Creepy Reading, and I'm signing off.